morning, everyone.
Awesome to be able to hang out with you guys today. We're pretty sure it's all working. Please feel free to say hi.
Countdown hasn't started yet. Oh, there we
go. Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Awesome to be here today and be hanging out with you beautiful people.
What a fantastic Friday.
Woohoo!
We've had a great week this week. From our end, we've been running one of our live retreats. When I say live, I don't mean in person, unfortunately.
No,
usually
very
they
close
are.
To being,
but was online again this time, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be the last one we have to do online.
That would be good. That would be very, very good. It's been an amazing week. We had 33 people online with us
Carly,
hanging out.
great to see you here.
Which was just awesome and just amazing to have a bunch of people, moving forward and getting excited and really inspired and learning and training. And so we've just been, yesterday we had a day off, which was lovely. So bit of an afternoon nap, etc.
Back to the office
and then back
today.
into it today.
And we get to chat with you guys. How amazing is this?
Pieces away and getting stuff ready for the next quarter.
Really
Woo-hoo!
cool. What we wanted to have a chat about today was something that did come up a couple of times while we were at retreats, speaking with our clients and with another amazing mentor that we had there, Simon Bowen. But I don't want to go too deeply into that side of it. But I did want to just have a chat about one of the things that's going on in business at the moment that you may have noticed is that around us, there's a lot of uncertainty, and that can kind of lead to mistrust and just sort of feeling confused about things. There's like a whole level of disruption that just hasn't been there. And we've talked about this a little bit at a business level, the disruption that this has caused to business and that kind of stuff. But I want you to also think about the disruption that's happening in your clients' lives, the kind of feelings that they might be having of confusion or of distrust and of, what's another word for that? Just kind of feeling...
I think there's just a lot of uncertainty.
Uncertainty, yeah.
Like that really just kind of... puts it all in a bucket. I think there is just
the uncertainty
even
bucket.
In our industry, the uncertainty bucket. Welcome to a global pandemic. Yay!
Yeah, that's right. And it can cause some fear. Lots of people are kind of going out, they're going down the street, even just shopping. People are wearing masks. You see other people wearing masks. We're all social distancing. It's kind of introducing a lot of fear into the world, in a way that there hasn't really been before. Like literally, I remember our situation has been a bit up and down. And I remember when we opened up and the gym was open and I got an email saying you can go back to the gym. And I'm like, oh, fantastic. I want to go back to the gym. And then there's just straight away, there's that thought of, but a gym is like, I'll be touching all the equipment after other people have touched it. There's, lots of breathing going on as people are exercising and stuff. It feels quite dangerous. And I would never have had that thought before in my life, that it feels dangerous to go to a place like a gym. So there is just this level of kind of awareness and fear around us. And I guess what I wanted to do is just have a conversation with you guys about how to call it out when it comes to massage. Because my response to the gym could be what some people have to their massage treatment. They might be getting an email from you saying, hey, we're open, it's time for another treatment, that kind of stuff. And they might just have that thought that is like, ooh, really? Yeah, am I ready for this yet? Now, if we are ready, awesome. If people are feeling comfortable, fantastic. I know there's a bunch of people right now that are very busy. Their clients are flocking back to them. They're feeling really great. And that's amazing. That's really, really cool. But if it's something that you might be seeing some of your clients feeling a bit nervous about, or you're not getting the numbers of people coming through that you might have expected, I wanted to just talk about 3 things you can do to build more trust from your clients, to show them that you are solid and that you're a good place to be. Because again, we return to this theme quite often, but I totally believe that massage right now has such an important and powerful place in the recovery of the world. In recovering our souls and our connectedness as humans, as well as literally just health, recovery in that way.
Brené Brown talks about we are hardwired for connection, and in a world of socially distanced isolation, blah, blah, blah. But we also bear in mind that we're in Victoria, which is quite different to the rest of Australia at this point. There is not mandatory mask wearing and things like that.
And America and everything. Everywhere is different.
Everywhere is kind of going through their version of what we're experiencing. I really do think that being able to be connected physically, hands-on, doesn't matter what kind of practitioner you are, hands-on therapy right now it's vital for the recovery as we move out of this pandemic and as we move forward as a culture and as a nation and as a society, because being able to feel once again and feel connected, and actually putting your hands on someone is something that's actually, it's the way that we're meant to be.
Super powerful and super important. So if we think of it in that sense, massage is really important at the moment, but people might be feeling nervous about it like they are with lots of other things. What's 3 things we can do to help them feel like they've got a high level of trust, to lower the fear and raise the trust? And I want to, like, obviously, I'm a marketer. The first thing I think about is marketing. And I want to just share point number one is just being consistent with your marketing. So that means, first off, it means not freaking people out, not having all that kind of fear coming through in your marketing, but also literally just continuing business as normal. If you normally post it a bunch of times on social media, just keep doing that. If you're normally emailing people once a week, keep doing that. And also not just the actual things you're doing, the numbers, but consistency with your messaging. If you always talked about healthy eating, keep talking about that. And you can introduce the idea of what COVID has done as part of it, but keep a consistent theme with what you're doing to what you would have had before and again now. And underlying all that is, of course, your values. Your values as a person and as a business should remain consistent at this time, and people should visibly be able to see that being consistent.
And I think what that does is bring certainty. It creates a level of certainty that while everything else out there is a bit crazy, not necessarily that you've got it all together, because I don't think that's what people want. I really do think people in this time are looking and will continue to be looking for authenticity and transparency. But consistency is something that can create some certainty. You know, I know that the feedback we've had from a bunch of clients that we're working with is their clients saying it was so lovely to just see your face consistently. You know, I felt like in this I had someone that I could look to and that I could trust, and that someone, and really part of that was certainly their heart is to serve, but also it is just like James is saying, being consistent in the things that they would always do.
Yeah. So that's number one. Consistency in a couple of different ways. Number one is consistency. Number two is to open a dialogue with them around what you're actually doing. And Jeffrey's even saying this in the comments here. It's like, everyone is, you know, dealing with PPE and sanitization and hand washing as we come in. Massage therapists, as we know, you guys are trained in infection control anyway, right? Plus then I know there's a bunch of people doing all sorts of extra research and education around what it means right now. It's okay to show that to people. And you're probably doing this already, but you don't have to go crazy and fearmonger to just show yourself wearing a mask or show a sign that says, please wash your hands on entry and exit, all that kind of stuff. It just shows people that you've got this, that you care, that you're in control, that you're doing what's needed according to government regulations and advice, as well as for their own health and safety. And yeah, I don't mean you have to go crazy with that. I think too much of that, say if you're on social media, too much of that in your social media feed might actually cause people to feel more fear. But what we want to do is just show it in a perfectly neutral, perfectly natural way, so that you've got an open dialogue around, I'm dealing with this. I've got the things in place that are going to make you safe when you come into the clinic.
I remember between the lockdowns here in Victoria, we went down to Warrnambool, just with Airbnb with the kids, just to kind of escape being in the same spot, not quite sure what was happening, so we booked it and went away. And what was really interesting to me was that when we were in Lorne, having lunch, or I think we had brunch that day, there was no kind of, it was like after we'd ordered and after we sat down, a lady then took our details. Whereas when we'd been in Warrnambool, they actually asked for James and mine's license with our address on it. And then we're taking our details and making sure that they had a record of us, you know, eating in as you have to do and all sorts of stuff.
Which is all part of the regulations.
All part of the regulations,
just in case
exactly.
you're kind of like, what's that about?
There's 26 pages of regulations that hospitality people have to work out themselves. Oh, no thanks. However, the difference in my level of feeling safe between Warrnambool and Lorne was enormously different. It was vastly different, because in Lorne I wasn't sure who I was sitting around because no one was actually checking. Whereas in Warrnambool I felt like, yeah, okay, it's a bit weird to be like, whereabouts are you from and what does your license say? But I also felt like the people that were around me were going to be safe people to be sitting with as well. So I think that's, sometimes we can feel a little bit like, am I asking too much of people? When actually I think having those safety measures in place, and yes, there are some regulations we have to comply with, but also having them there actually made me as a consumer feel so much safer.
Yeah, makes people feel safer. So that's number two, is just be open with what you're actually doing. Share some of that. Number three is around social proof. This is where, people feel safer doing something that someone else has already done. And this is starting to get into that weird kind of area of maybe marketing and that human psychology stuff. But if you can show that you've got clients that are coming in, that they are feeling safe, your other clients are feeling safe, then people who might have been feeling a bit nervous about it look at that and go, oh, okay, cool. Not everyone, of course, but lots of people do just feel that extra level of conviction when they see other people in their peer group doing something. So if you can, it would be great to just continue getting things like little testimonials or videos or reviews and just showing that in your social media feed as well. And it could look like, if you were occasionally doing a little video with someone as they come out of treatment and just doing a quick interview, which is great marketing, by the way. Every now and then, just like, hey, it's awesome to speak with you.
With permission, asking,
of
blah,
course,
blah.
all that kind of stuff. Yes, definitely. But what it might look like now is you're both doing the same sort of thing, but you're wearing masks and you're social distancing or something. And even that can be like, that's cool, they're just dealing with it. It's visibly, I can see the business is handling what should be happening and making it normal. And the client coming out of that room has had a great treatment, got the results that they're expecting, feeling really good about it, just like they would have before anyway. And so being able to show that social proof just gives your level of trust a bit of a boost, gives you some support from other people in that client community. So that is number 3. Do you have anything else you want to add to this?
No, I think it's just a really good conversation to be having at this point. It's great to be able to talk about, great, have a lot of trust, but what does that actually look like? And I think that there's some good stories in there, and I think that it's really true. And as always, I love the fact that you think like a marketer and I think like a therapist, and together by our powers combined, we give you guys something valuable and useful to be able to take away each week. And I think it is really important to be able to dovetail between how do you run an exceptional business and stay in line with the guidelines and health standards that you are guided by your association or AHPRA, depending on where you're at. So yeah, love it. I think it's great.
I would love, if you're watching this and you've got another hot tip, if you're like, hey, I've been doing this cool thing in my clinic that I think might be helping people to trust me, to fear less, and to be ready to come in, just drop it in there and share, right? That'd be a really good thing to be able to hear from.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. We'll finish up there for this morning. Awesome to catch up with you.
Have a great week. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.
See you guys.